You can't reason with religious people. If you could, there would be no religious people. Welcome to Friday Fallacy. This week we're looking at the Psychologist's Fallacy. The Psychologist's Fallacy is when we assume that our perspective on things is objective. That is, rather than recognising our own subjectivity, we assume an unbiased view. This is not a sound way of arguing, as we can never assume that our perspective is unflawed. That we have a different perspective to other people does not guarantee that our perspective is actually objective. That other people are more subjective in their views does not mean that we are unbiased in ours. Some examples of the Psychologist's Fallacy. Atheists are immoral hedonists as they don't have religion to constrain them. Anyone who's prepared to be rational can see that gun control won't work. Why does she act so crazy? Can't she see how stupid she's being? Libertarians aren't really sincere, otherwise they'd all just move to Somalia. Gay people claim to be happy, but I was miserable the whole time I was gay. Not all claims of objectivity are the Psychologist's Fallacy. The Psychologist's Fallacy is when we simply assume that our view on something is objective, usually only because we are not directly involved. But being disinterested is helpful in establishing objectivity, but hardly conclusive. To actually establish that we are unbiased, we would need evidence or argument in support of this. For example, it is not fallacious to argue that my view on, say, the rates of recidivism in criminals is unbiased and objective because I have researched the topic and have no interest one way or the other. But it is fallacious to claim that my views are objective simply because I am not myself a criminal. Most non-criminals have opinions, but most are not objective assessments. As the name suggests, the Psychologist's Fallacy is most common when dealing with other people's mental states. When we reason about what others are thinking or why they behave a certain way, it is easy to forget our own subjectivity, especially when a situation doesn't directly concern us. For example, atheists, especially those who have been religious but never truly believed, sometimes find it hard to accept that theists are genuine in their beliefs. This is partly because we feel able to objectively analyse their behaviour and deduce that they cannot be entirely sincere. But this is committing the Psychologist's Fallacy, as our understanding of them will be skewed by our own experiences and beliefs. The solution is not to uncritically accept anyone else's claims about their own mental states, but rather to avoid relying on our own experiences as counter to others, and instead reserve judgment until actual objective data is available. In conclusion, the Psychologist's Fallacy is when we assume the objectivity of our own perspective. Until next time, keep your fallacies to yourself.